I've got 2 hours here. Just I don't know how's normally I'm here later, so and I want it to be early. Now that I'm here early, I want it to be later. So it's the whole scenario where you can never get two things to match. You either got you either got it's like you go back to Friday where you say you never got two things that match. You ever got cereal no milk, milk no cereal. You got the Kool-Aid no sugar or something like this. So I'm early if I want it late, late if I want it early. So even though it's early and it's a replay, we could still come on with the 10 us is how they say it at the racetrack. Come on with the 6 us is how they say it at the track, just to fit in. They're just showing Ichiro getting flashed. Some sort of a flash mob attack or whatnot. So I guess it was his last game with the Mariners. And all the foreign journalists, they were flashing their lights, camera action, all this on the field, showing it on Sportsnet. So it's able to acquire a program for $1. You can see race 1 in Gulfstream. You have Forever Marta. Not sure if that's a Scarface related. 2 horses, Uncaptured Angel. The 3 horses, Tennessee Cotton. The full ass is Simon Lyman, and you can see the 3 horses named Tennessee Cotton. I'm not sure if this is related in relation to cotton picking or a reference or a shot of Aboriginal or cultured people who were picking cotton. In Key West there was cotton that you could take from the. In fact, I'm not sure why they would name a horse with cotton, knowing it could raise the sensitivity issues. Cotton being a sensitive word that could, it could cause, some sort of ruckusing, unwanted or not. And so if we go further down, you can see the five us is assisted Gemma. 6 is morning line favorite 9 to 5. Trick, violent trick. A chestnut filly, 3 years old. The 7. Also, if we go up, you look, it's a maiden claiming. So these horses are not broken maiden yet, meaning they haven't won a race yet. And you have Mama D and You Can Look at 120, claiming 35,000. Replay races again, and 6 us is in the thick of things once again. This exemplifies the passion of the race. You have a three us is I'm not sure if he's in. According to the gentleman in the front, the 3 bloody ass is fucking around, and the 3 ass was acting like skunt-like and inefficient in his performance. Enabled another ass. And there was a fucking ass that dislodged the rider, so he was riding riderless, and I'm not even sure if he still crossed the wire ahead of the rest of the field, minus the 100 pounds or so that the rider puts on the ass of. So also the Florida Cup is March 31st, and we have Oaklawn Gulfstream going today, Golden Gates Field. Laurel Park and Sunland Park 250. You can see in the second race it's a maiden claiming $32,000 purse. We have the one ass is June Noria. The 2 horses morning line fave Great Kahuna, and 3 ass is AI Initiative. Also, 4 ass is Great the News. 5 ass is Silver Shield. 6 is 6 ass is Trump's Kitten, and 7 ass is Abe Froman, and Love Nest. You can see Tank when he sings this song. You can see at the start, he's singing kind of right in the middle. Then he goes falsetto. So this gives an interesting dynamic, creates greater impact instead of singing, one constant, So he's giving it to you, and it goes. Like my singing coach, he says, if you go kind of like all out grunge rock voice all the way and you're not changing the pace, people are like, where's this going? So they kind of tune out mentally. So if you change it up, you go in the middle, you go high, you kind of change it up or slow it down, speed it up, So people are auditioning for being the next Dan Loisel here because, they're practicing announcing skills as they're watching replays. So when you come to the live race, don't just think they're not working on their enunciations before. So if wives are worried about their husbands, spending too much time away from home, the men's are up in here working. They're trying to acquire wealth for the family, trying to be Dan Loisel's replacement. As a current announcer, really kind of sucks shit. But things you like about Dan Loisel, he always gives the you're off and in the blah 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 stakes or whatever. He was consistent. He showed up on time for work. Always tucked in his shit. Always came clean. Also, I think Dan Loisel, he used to brush his teeth in the morning and floss. I'm not sure of, and his later in his career, he would shine his head, and he would always update his eyeglass prescription. Had a great pair of binoculars, and I'm not sure if he had a binocular spray. I'm not sure if Dan Loisel got freaky with any of the women upstairs while announcing races, to relax his nerves, or if he had Playboy posters posted on the wall or whatnot just to loosen him up. He was a little bit uptight, but he did a phenomenal job, and so essentially Dan Loisel was the Daddy Mac of horse racing, holding it down for Woodbine for multiple years. So I'm sure once in a while he must have had some rendezvous, like '87, like Lemieux to Gretzky or whatnot, winning the Canada Cup. Or also, there's a pick six carryover, $133,982 between race 4 and 9. So depending on how many people win that pick six, they divide it up amongst the winners. So a pick six carryover of 133 grand is a good ray of light, or gives hope to people down in the gutter, people down in the dumps, facing uncertain financial turmoil. And sometimes people kill themselves and suicide themselves to death. So me myself, facing all the NSFs I faced the previous month of like $800 to $1,000 paying NSFs to TD Canada Trust, and having them not check up on me once, knowing I didn't get my contract renewed. This was not appreciated, man, because people kill themselves over this type of stuff. But I am thankful for Balance Protection Insurance. They came through and made a payment on my behalf to pay down my visa bill, something I wasn't even consciously knowing I was paying for. And then the girl at the beer store told me to cancel it, but then I filled out the application and they came. So I did pay $1.50 on Visa once they freed up some balance availability to put air in my rear left tire that goes down every 4 days for the last year, and just been having trouble getting the tire repaired. So I'll see if when I reapply for another. So the one thing with Balance Protection Insurance, you do have to reapply after every statement for continuation. I guess you update them on your employment status, and if like M3EP say, if you ain't Gladys Knight or the pimps, nor do I cramp a Jerry curl. Sorry, they said ain't the baddest Gladys or the pimp or the pip. No, is it pip or pimp? But then they say, nor do I crimp Jerry curl. This is Blunt's world. and then they go on and on. And they finish it off after going back and forth with Gitchy Yaw about to dethrone you, and all the monkey MCs playing games for the G's. And, this was a phenomenal demo debut for me and my cousin in Florida in Ocean View Studio. And so after flying back to Canada, I went unannounced into Beat Factory, and Love put my tape in his cassette deck, listened to it focused, said, "You want to go on tour?" But I didn't know what I was getting myself into, so I kind of weaseled my way out of there, and said, I'll contact you later, taking his business card or what. So after that, just filled out my applications or whatnot for university. Carleton gave me a scholarship offer, and then I decided to go to York. Ryerson, I was in for journalism, but they wanted some portfolio, and I didn't follow through to complete the application. So I went to York, and then what happened at York. So. Then I pretty much fucked around until getting into private school, college, getting a diploma in manufacturing, pharmaceuticals, worked at Apotex, and now here I am back at Woodbine. In between, I did some other stuff, diddled around, diddly, with or without D, but but in the meantime, in 2003-4, after working at Woodbine Pontiac with Robert Positano across the street from here, I was able to make several demos and finish an album, and I still have that album. I have it in my back seat, so I might give one to Ricky Marta, a Jewish lady from. Yeah, also, someone from the dealership called me last week. They wanted me to come in and buy a new car, so I told them I might go in and buy one of those Ferrarises or something like that, just to fit in with the people in Woodbridge that like to drive fast and race at lights and things. So pretty much all my life I've been struggling with finances or financially, so but I've been, kept moving forward, kept, pushing the envelope forward. I never really gave in or gave up or caved or whatnot. So, keep moving forward. I can see what happens, I can report back. But pretty much, even if you have a small amount of funding, if you make the right maneuvers, if you spend it in the right places, you could be able to spend your way out of your pickle, out of your jam, out of your dilly of a pickle or whatnot, and, find yourself in the end zone if you're Jerry Rice getting a pass from Marine. So when I hear this song, I'm reminded of Lloyd Dean. So, apparently, saw him on the front page, and then he was shot and killed or whatnot. So, when I mentioned it, kind of thinking out loud, they were like, so I was like, and then, so after hearing this song, maybe this offered some type of soulless solution. Maybe he was talking shit, and they put a clapping to that boy. That's essentially probably what happened from all the evidence I can gather from this piece from clips. So when I went up to see him in the casket, he looked pretty good, man. He looked, pretty fly, he had his head and like cornrowed all nicely. So I was like, wow, he's, pretty neat fella. So, maybe I shouldn't have tried to exclude him and replace him or. Because, I remember, we go inside the Albion Center, and, his mother would only give him $1 to do some video gaming, and this kind of hampered our financial flexibility to play Street Fighter or whatnot. So right now, Ted wants $500 for a customized site, $150 a year for hosting, $25 for domain registration. I sent Will $200. He's gonna get another $100, and then caught up on my final bill a little bit, still owe $200, and insurance is coming up, and car payment. So I'm gonna go get up and get a coffee from Tim Hortons, and as a social experimentation, I'm gonna leave the program here on the desk and see if it's back still here when I get back. Pick 6 carryover is $133,982 from Race 9. I guess that is. So approving this Hope in Humanity, nonetheless, the book is still here on my almanac, and got my double. The Hope in Humanity has been restored. The book is still here. And you know, race one is less than an hour away now, or whatnot.